Hey, welcome to Chapter 1, Concept 2. We're moving right along. Today we're going to talk about adding real numbers, including fractions. Now, adding numbers is something that you've done before, but today we're going to talk about what to do when we have positive numbers and negative numbers. It's actually not as hard as you might think. And to help you out, I've come up with a little song. You'll see the lyrics here over on the left-hand side of your sheet. And actually, I take that back. I did not come up with this. I borrowed this from a friend of mine. But it's to the tune of Row, Row, Row Your Boat, and it goes like this. Same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the bigger one, and then you'll be exact. Okay, I'm going to sing it one more time. Same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the bigger one, and then you'll be exact. So what does that mean? Well, it means that if we're going to add two numbers or combine two numbers that have the same signs, meaning they're both positive or they're both negative, we're going to add the numbers and keep the signs. Let's take a look at what that means. Take a look at number 22 with me. Here we have a positive 3 and a positive 1. If there's no sign out front, that means it's positive. So a positive 3 and a positive 1, we're going to add them together and keep the sign. So 3 plus 1 is 4. And since they're both positive, we're going to keep it positive, and that's our final answer. Let's take a look at another one. Number 30. Here I have a negative 4 plus negative 4. So they're both negative. So same signs, add and keep. So 4 plus 4 is 8. Keep the sign. They're both negative, so my answer will be negative. And that's my final answer there. So that's what we do if both of the signs are the same. But what if the signs are different? Well, let's take a look at the second part of the song. Different signs, subtract. Keep the sign of the bigger one, and then you'll be exact. So let's take a look at what that means. If we have two numbers that we're adding together, but they have different signs, as in number 38, where we have a positive 1 and a negative 7. They have different signs. So we're going to subtract them. 7 minus 1 is 6. And we're going to keep the sign of the bigger one. Which one is bigger, 1 or 7? Right, the 7. So we keep the negative because that's the sign that's on the negative. So my final answer is negative 6. Want to see another one? Let's take a look at 39. Here we have 4, positive 4 plus negative 3. They're different signs, so we subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. Keep the sign of the bigger one. Well, 4 is bigger than 3, and 4 is positive, so my answer will be positive. And that's all there is to it. Why don't you pause the video and see if you can give the rest of these a shot. I bet you can get them. How'd you do? Pause the video and take a look at the answers that I've included here for you, and just double check to make sure that you got them right. If you didn't, that's okay. You can try them again, but also remember you can highlight them and bring them to class, and we'll talk about them in class together. It's okay if you're struggling with this at this point, because I promise as we go through the year you'll get better and better, and the only way for that to happen is for you to practice lots and lots and for us to figure out where the mistakes are happening. Okay? Now, let's take a look at the second part of the lesson. What if we have more than just two numbers? Not a big deal. We can handle that pretty easily if we just take it one pair at a time. So what do we mean by that? We're going to follow the same rules, keep the same song. But take a look at number 48. Here I have negative 8, positive 7 plus negative 7. Well, I'm going to take it one pair at a time. Negative 8 and positive 7. They're different signs, so I'm going to subtract. 8 minus 7 is 1. I'm going to keep the sign of the bigger one. 8 is bigger, so the answer here is negative 1. But I'm not done because I still have this negative 7. Now I will do this pair. The signs are the same. Same signs, add and keep. So 1 plus 7 is 8. Keep the sign as negative, and I'm done. Let's take a look at another one. Let's do number 47. Okay, so here we have 6 and negative 5. Different signs. Subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1. Keep the sign of the bigger one. 6 is bigger, so this is positive. Now I'm going to do my second pair. Positive 1 and positive 4. Same signs, add and keep. 1 plus 4 is 5. Keep the positive sign, and I'm done. What about number 51? Here I have -5 and -6. Same signs, add and keep. 5 plus 6 is 11, and keep the sign is negative. Now I do my second pair. Different signs, -11 and +7. Different signs, subtract. So 11 minus 7 is 4. Keep the sign of the bigger one. The bigger one is 11, so my answer will be negative. And there you have it. What about for number 50? Well, -1 and -1. Same signs, add and keep. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Keep the negative sign. Do my second pair. And same signs, add and keep. So 7 and negative. And I'm done. Now I want to show you one more way that you can do this. And so far we've been doing all of these in our head, doing the addition in our head, and following our song to remember the rule for the signs. But there's another way where you can actually see kind of what's happening here. So let's take a look at number 49 together, and we'll do it this new way. First you have +2. So you write 2 plus symbols, positive, positive. Then you have a -6. So you'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right underneath. Then another +2. Positive, positive. Now here's what's cool about these. Whenever you have positive and negative numbers together, the positives and negatives cancel each other out. So if you have them lined up this way, where all your positives are in a row and all your negatives are in a row and they're stacked on top of each other, you can go through and just cancel out the ones that are together. And what do you have left over? Well, I have negative, negative. That's -2. And there's your final answer. That's a great way for you to check yourself because it's a pretty quick way and it's visual. So if you struggle doing it in your head, this way it's a lot less likely that you'll get lost. So just to check ourselves, let's do in our head too. 2 and -6. Different signs, subtract. 6 minus 2 is 4. Keep the sign of the bigger one. The bigger one is negative, so 4 is negative. Now we do our next pair. Different signs, subtract. 4 minus 2 is 2. Keep the sign of the bigger one. The bigger one is 4, so it's negative. And they match, which is exactly what we were hoping to see. Why don't you pause the video and finish up these last 6 on your own. Remember, if you struggle with them, that's okay. It's part of the learning process. Highlight them and be ready to discuss them in class tomorrow.